I'm going to take it as beginner as it can be, and I'm going to show you the best way to find and identify the ghost and the ghost room to help make everything easier. It's a brand new update in Phasmo, so let's make an updated guide here in case you came from an older video. And same ideas typically apply, but there were some item changes. First off, when selecting your items, I think I have a pretty unique approach to it. There's a couple different things you can think of. I like going for a video cam instead of a flashlight because the video cam will work as a decent flashlight. I like to start with an EMF reader, which the EMF reader looks for interactions, and you'll get a reading from whenever ghosts do interactions, so it can help verify if you hear anything. And then I like to take a UV light to start, to look for fingerprints, basically to get evidence quicker. Now, finding the ghost room tends to be a big hang-up to people, and there's a few things that I want to go. So we want to open the door. Now, as soon as you open the door, that's when activity starts. It's when the ghost starts to be Again, we activate our video camera. It turns on the night screen. Now, if you started with like a thermometer, for instance, we're playing on amateur, so the breaker is already on by the start, which means we got to give it some time for the ghost room to cool down, right? I don't know if you can hear that in the distance, but we're actually hearing interactions. You know, sometimes it's a good idea just to sit and wait, give time for the ghost room to cool down, because you want to listen for interactions. But it's also a great way to find the ghost room is, where do you see your breath? Because the ghost room is going to cool down. So we hear interactions. They sound like they're coming right here, but another good way to check is, right, these doors all start closed. So we can come over here and we can check for UV. We don't see any. Now, whenever you see something like this, okay, so here we go. We see this door was touched, these doors are touched. Chances are high that the ghost room is going to be in the hallway, foyer area, which we do hear interactions, which the EMF reader will verify things. And there, that's EMF 5. That's what EMF 5 looks like. So to get EMF 5, if a ghost has EMF 5 as its evidence, each interaction it does has a 25% chance of being EMF 5. That's how you get EMF 5. You have to look at each interaction, and then it could potentially be EMF 5. What we do know is that it's touched these doors and we don't have UV. But we also still don't know exactly where the ghost room is. Is it in the bathroom or is it out here? And that's what a thermometer can also help verify. We can turn this on. We got EMF 5 again. So that's pretty good. Now we also can again check for orbs. Do we see orbs anywhere? None out here. And we can check out here for orbs as well. To check for orbs, you definitely want the lights to be off. Definitely want the lights to be off because they're almost impossible to spot with the lights on. So far, we don't see anything in there. We can check these surrounding rooms too, right? We can check maybe it reached through the walls, maybe it roams. The ghost can roam out the room, but it's not going to be not very far on amateur, which is what we're playing on. But again, we still haven't seen our breath, so we don't know exactly which one it is, but sometimes you can safely rule out evidence. So if it's touched a couple doors and you don't have UV, we can go ahead and rule out UV. If we don't see orbs, you know, we can double check for the ghost room. Gut's telling me it's going to be bathroom or hallway, which we didn't see orbs there. So we can rule that out. Go back out and let's get the rest of the stuff. So we don't quite know where exactly the ghost room is. Now, one of the biggest changes where if you watch from other videos or you watched anything else, the thermometer is not as accurate anymore. It's going to fluctuate up and down, sort of a randomness to it. So I'm going to take a spirit box and I'm going to take a ghost writing book. It's going to be kind of annoying because you will see the changes, so you're not going to see just the steady line and then a decrease when you enter the ghost room like if you played before or if you watched any old videos. So let's look at where we are over here. It keeps on increasing here, which leads me to think that probably the bathroom is going to be the ghost room. Again, we're going to see some fluctuating with it, but we see a steady decrease here. That's what we're looking for to find where the ghost room is. Where do you see that steady decrease in the temperature? This ghost is going pretty crazy. So now we know this is the ghost room, so we want to place our ghost writing book, and now we start asking questions. Are you here? Are you friendly? Where are you? Are you here? Okay. Are you here? Are you friendly? Okay, so maybe not here or friendly. Let's see. Still no orbs, which we can double check. That was you that went off? Yeah, we got EMF 5. Okay. Let's go for dots. Let's go for dots. That's our last piece of evidence. Now, dots did get a buff to where it is a little bit brighter now. It is a little bit brighter. Slightly brighter. I guess more so the range is a lot more than before. You see, this is a giant circle covering things, so we should have a pretty good chance of seeing the dots. We could place it here, like that's fine. Look for that, or we could place it like coming in, going on the corner. It's kind of whatever you want to do, you know. We can do that to look for it, or place it more there. So that's new in the game. That's new with the update as well. This is where the ghost, if a ghost throws, encloses the book, and we do not have ghost writing ghosts, we can rule it out. So we know that we can rule out ghost writing. So this ghost, I don't know if you saw that right quick, but if you saw that creature running on through, that's going to be dots. And if I had to guess, when I pick up this thermometer right here, it's going to show freezing. Not quite, man. I was hoping I'd be psychic there. I do think we're going to get the freezing, though. I do think we're going to get the freezing. And so, you see here how the ghost just touched this door and did that. Are you here? Are you friendly? Where are you? So with how small this ghost room is and how close it is with interacting with these items, we should be able to get a spirit box response. The fact that we didn't leads me to think, and that's dots right there. Again, it's not very good. You can't hold the dots, so while I talk about it, we're gonna trap ourselves in the ghost room. Very scary. Actually, not scary at all. Ghost can't get you. It'll take a while to get you an amateur. You'll be fine. Trust me. What I was trying to say with the spirit box, it's always good to ask the spirit box questions where you know the ghost just interacted with an item because you know the ghost is going to be close to that. Should be within the range of the spirit box. So the fact that we kept on asking it questions when we saw it through the book, touch the door, whatever, and we did not get a response, I'm safe to rule out spirit box because of that. Which means this ghost didn't own you. That's like process of elimination. You'll get better at that as you become more familiar. If you're playing with 3 evidences, these are the ones you can absolutely rule out. Technically, with EMF 5, dots, and freezing, you can never really rule it out. Even with ghost writing, if you see the ghost interact with the book and not write in it and it closes it, you can rule out ghost writing. And that's just a nice little trick for everything. I don't know if, wasn't really paying attention to if we had any dots while we was holding this here. Not real sure, but now you'll see that the craziest thing about freezing is it just takes time, right? It just takes time. We're still not quite there. Still not quite there. Slowly but surely keep on going down. Is it gonna reach that threshold? And that's the fluctuation that I was talking about with the thermo. It's gonna fluctuate up and down. That's the problem with the tier 1 thermo now, so it's not as accurate because you see this and you're like, wait a minute, is the ghost still here? What's going on? What's going on? Well, the ghost is still here because on amateur it cannot change ghost rooms. Cannot change ghost rooms. So now we just play the waiting game with this, you know? Just play the waiting game. And if you're ever like not sure where a ghost room is. Like, you'll see, the moment we step out here, we're going to keep on just seeing that increase. So that's how you know. You're like, okay, well, the ghost probably still going to be here because we kept seeing that increase. Freezing can take sometimes like up to 10 minutes to get. So it's very frustrating at times because that's why with freezing a thermo, at least with tier 1, you kind of just want to set it and forget it, and you just wait while you gather, you know, everything else. So while we're in here, you know, looking for dots by holding it, which not the best strategy. You see, we saw it there. You can get it. It's kind of difficult. If I were to hold dots, I would recommend a second dots pin. I'm probably doing a lot of rambling here as we're just waiting on freezing. There's a lot of items to go through, but a lot of stuff. I just want to get that out the way. We'll be doing another map where you'll be able to see it. And there we go. It dropped below freezing, even if only for a second there. With the fluctuation, it shouldn't reach below 0 or 32 unless it's a freezing ghost. And that's how it is, which we found freezing basically essentially before we found everything else by ruling out other items. So may have been a lot of information thrown at you there. That's what we're all about, just throwing tips and tricks. Now, let's go to a different map here, and we'll see what the ghost is. We already knew it was an Oni. We're gonna put this whole same idea together, and we're gonna show you on Willow Street another small map. Alright, so we're now on Willow, and again, there's other combinations you can go with to start. Again, I think my favorite combination to start with is video camera, EMF reader, UV light. This can allow you to find evidence like UV and orbs fast, and EMF to confirm anything you hear because you should be listening for interactions. If you wanted to start with a thermo, just keep in mind, if you're playing on amateur, you got to give time for the ghost room to cool down. Because if the ghost room, for instance, is the first room in Willow, and you go right on in with the thermo, it's going to keep increasing in temperature, and you won't know that, and you might search the whole house and say, well, where was it? And it was actually at the start. So just make sure to keep that in mind. There's really no wrong answer to start with. I mean, maybe if you said, I'm going to start with dots. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the wrong answer. But really, you know, experiment. Experiment what works for you. I recommend this. It's one I'm going to teach, but again, I gave you my reasoning. You can agree, disagree. We're all humans. We're all unique. We all have varying opinions. So again, I know I don't have to worry about much. So we're just going to walk on in and look for orbs. The reason why, especially with the video camera, I repeat it a lot, but almost half the ghosts, 11 out of the 24 ghosts, have ghost orbs as a piece of evidence. Just like that. Perfect timing. Thank you. See? Game knows me. I say something and it does it. We also know if you find orbs, you know that is exactly the ghost room. But as you see here, we don't see our breath, but we know it's the ghost room. Why? Again, that goes back to we didn't see our breath because it hasn't cooled down enough yet. That's what we're still waiting on. So we know that we have ghost orbs. Now, here's the biggest thing that you need to keep in mind when it comes to ghost orbs. And I'm going to tell you this. You're going to forget it. It's going to ruin your day one day in Phasmo. But just know I told you. Ghost orbs. Always assume they're fake. What do I mean by fake? Could be a mimic. So if you look into your ghosts here, you go to mimic, you look at the weakness. It says several reports have noted ghost orb sightings near mimics. What this means is mimics will always have ghost orbs, but as you see here, it's not a part of their evidence. So this means you will actually have 4 evidences. There's actually one combination that you can get. I think, is it this? Yeah, if you actually get this combination right here, UV, spirit box, and ghost orbs, none of the ghosts can have that combination, so you would know it would be a mimic right away. So this is why you want to make sure you test for each of these pieces of evidence for the mimic, the spirit box, UV, and freezing. Even if you get ghost orbs, always assume those orbs are fake. Up until you get either EMF, EMF 5, dots, or ghost writing, because a mimic cannot have those. then you would know the orbs would be real. That's my little spiel about orbs there. Always assume they're fake. You will forget. You will get mimicked. You will be mad. You will be upset. You'll be wondering, is the game buggy? What happened? I know I saw ghost orbs. I know this, whatever. After we find the ghost room, you can go back to the truck and get whatever you want. I highly recommend grabbing thermo. And I did not set these down. Some great thing I am, right? So you know what we're going to do? We're going to set it down here. We'll come back and get it later. Typically, you want to drop those in the room as well. And you can light up your path exit to the truck. I would always advise taking in a thermo and a ghostwriting book in second. The reason for this is because these can take time, and it relies on the ghost choosing to write in the book or time for the room to cool down, which, as I mentioned last game, can take sometimes up to 10 minutes just waiting for the room to cool down and get to freezing. So you place it in there early. We wait for the temperatures to drop. Ghostwriting book, we set it down. We make our final walk back to the truck. We grab whatever we need from there. That's why I say with that. Now, we do want to take 3, so I left too early. Premature leaving here. Kind of your choice on the last item. I've been back and forth on both. I just typically lately like to take a spirit box, because while I'm setting stuff up in there, I can start talking into it, asking it questions, versus dots, which may or may not happen. This garage location is very annoying for dots, because it's a larger room. And we only have 1 dot. So I could have added a second one, but I didn't for this sake. But here's a cool thing with Spirit Box, right? If you set the Spirit Box on the ground, you can still ask questions with it. You know? Are you here? Are you friendly? While we're setting up everything else, you know? Where are you? Are you here? Are you friendly? Where are you? See? We got it. As I just did it again. Alright, now, before we go back to the book, remember what I told you last time and what we just talked about, okay? We got Spirit Box. What could that possibly mean? It could possibly be a mimic, because that's still a piece of mimic evidence. We still need to assume these ghost orbs are fake. I typically don't like to mark it in the book. You can, if you're starting to feel like, hey, I think that these might actually be real. We can do that, but again, keep in mind, these ghost orbs could still be fake. It could still be a mimic. Because if you were to mark ghost orbs, mimic is still grayed out. So you're like, oh, well, we might be dealing with a Mare, Yokai, or Onryo here. True, we still could, but don't forget about the mimic. You will, again, you will. And you can leave a comment on this video in the future. Or tell me about a time you got mimicked in the past if you already have been before and just are watching this. Which, if so, thank you. Thank you. Alright, let's go back and bring these evidence that we should have had in there already, but I got on my diatribe about the Mimic. Mimic is a very cool ghost. Just don't confuse it. The only thing they can mimic is ghost abilities. They cannot mimic evidence. I guess technically orbs, but that's their thing. It did mess with something. I don't quite know what, but okay. Did it touch these doors yet? No. Okay. But again, we don't know if it's touched that door at all. So for UV, you kind of want to look up light switches. You know, did it turn on or off the lights? Did it mess with doors? You can also check for windows. And when you unlock salt, you can check for UV prints with salt. But we don't have salt unlocked yet. So now we're just like sort of a waiting game here, you know? Waiting for this to cool down. We got nothing. And we're just here looking. Did it write in the book? Did it mess with the book? Has not closed it. It has not written in it. So ghostwriting could still happen. And there we go. We did just get dots there. So what does that mean? Could it be a mimic now? The answer is no. It cannot. It's a yokai. Because again, mimics cannot mimic dots, EMF 5, or ghostwriting. So if you get one of those with orbs, you know it's not going to be a mimic. The orbs are going to be real. And that's how we were able to figure out the ghost this time, was through the orbs of the video camera. We checked each room for orbs. We saw it in the garage. We then set our stuff up, and we went with it. Fantastic. Way to go. Alright, so once again, we're going to start with the video camera, the EMF reader, and the UV light. Now, you want to activate the green screen. And we're going to go in, we're going to look for orbs, while at the same time, though, you really want to be listening for interactions, okay? Use your ears, listen, because if we hear an interaction somewhere, we're going to want to check where that is. And as you see here, we see the ghost orbs first, because it's fast. This is why I recommend starting with the video camera. Like, I see it all the time, and it's just so helpful and useful, because you know right away, all right, that's the ghost room. I can go do everything. Did just like throw a plate. We can turn on these lights to light our path. But let's see. It is throwing quite a bit of stuff over here. Nothing EMF 5 though. Nothing EMF 5. So I would definitely recommend turning on lights as you're leaving. You can even turn on these outside lights if you wanted to. Light your way to the door. Nice, nice, nice. It's good for sanity. Good for sanity. Alright. So again, thermo book, I really feel like have to be your second options. Unless you want to take it in first and replace something else. But definitely highly recommend getting those. And as I mentioned, it takes time for the ghost room to cool down. It's not cool enough to where it's dropping yet. And this is, again, why sometimes it's not best to start, if the breaker is on, with the thermo right away. Now we'll place the book. Are you here? Okay. And we have ghost writing. Just like that. Look how quick that was. Look how quick the game that was. We know exactly what we have. Just like that. We know. We have orbs, spirit, writing. It's a mare. Fun fact, mares have actually killed me any more than any other ghost. No, I gotta go to statistics. Most deaths to mare. Would you look at that? And we got one here. Did not kill me this time, though. We survived it. You see it just like that. And that's how quick you can be. When you have a plan of action, look at that. 2 minutes, 8 seconds getting the ghost. Boom. Just like that. All right, let's do Edgefield again, because I really did not get to explain a lot with that. But you see how quickly it goes when you just have a strategy. You go and you execute the strategy. So again, we're looking for orbs. And while we're looking for orbs, we're listening for interactions. Don't see any orbs here. Don't see any in the hallway. Now, since the breaker is on, I would say to save some sanity, start turning on lights where you know you don't see orbs. Because again, you're not going to be able to really see the orbs with lights on. We don't see orbs here. You want to check each room, because sometimes individual rooms can be the ghost room. Just like that laundry room is a ghost room, and this bathroom is also a ghost room. So it's not necessarily part of the kitchen. I don't see anything here. Now we can check. I'm not hearing anything either, so that's important to note. Nothing here. I don't necessarily want to check the basement, because A, it's annoying, B, I don't get a lot of ghosts there. So let's check upstairs. Okay. Here's one fun thing to note about that airball event. That's an airball ghost event. Onis cannot do those. So you know if you get one, you can mark out an Oni. True story. It makes me think the ghost is probably somewhere around here. Because I don't think ghosts can ghost event you from different floors. The question is, where? Where are you at, Mr. Ghosty? Okay, this is another good indicator. Well, let's see. We just turned off the breaker. We know the breaker was here. We heard it. Let's turn it back on, because we want it on. Did not give us EMF 5. Is this the ghost room, though? It would make sense. You know, ghosts can turn off the breaker from anywhere, but also good to note, gens cannot turn off the breaker. So, you know, if the ghost turns off the breaker, you can eliminate a gen as well. These are like just little tips you'll pick up over time, but it's very useful information, because we've already marked out 2 of the 24 ghosts that it cannot be. We don't have any evidence yet. It could also be a roaming ghost. So, roaming, stalking, teleporting. Which door did it just touch? You? Okay. And we do have UV. Okay. But we don't have orbs. So is the ghost room gonna be this hallway here? Interesting if so. I think what it'd be a good time. We're to assume that it's that middle hallway. We can use the thermo to confirm at some point. But wherever you see like a door touch like that, start looking around that area. Just set down your stuff, you know, okay, I know the ghost is around here. And you can double check it. And we do see a steady drop down. Again, with the tier 1 thermo now, it's going to fluctuate, but we see that steady drop, so it is going to be this area. Are you here? Are you friendly? Where are you? Talk to it while we put in evidence. Are you here? Are you friendly? Where are you? It could be a phantom or a banshee, which could teleport to us, but alright. So we just turned on a light. Are you here? Are you friendly? Where are you? Are you here? Are you friendly? Where are you? Okay. So that's good, because we went to the area of the interaction, and that's what you want to do with the spirit box. Whenever you have an interaction like that, you know, okay, ghost is around here because it just interacted with the light switch. Let's go around that area, ask the spirit box, and we got the response. Remember what we talked about a couple games ago when it pertains to the mimic. Have these two. It's either phantom, Pulte, or a mimic. But what we don't have is ghost orbs, and that just gave it away. That just gave it away. So we know that we got a Pulte. The ghost writing. Nice, nice. Since we know the ghost is a poltergeist, I actually want to see if we can get the poltergeist ability, because I think this would be really awesome. So the poltergeist ability is that it can actually explode a bunch of items. So we want to grab a bunch of items and put it in the room. You son of a bitch, I missed all that. God dang it. Okay, let's redo that. How tanked is our sanity? Wanted to see the Pulte pile, but I only heard it. And our sanity is at 0. God. This is what I say, though, about the Pulte ability. And it just did it again. See, Pulte is the only ghost that can go from 0 to 10 without a ghost event or a hunt. This is... Oh my god, that scared the crap out of me. Okay, there goes the Pulte ability. There goes... Oh, we got it again. Let's go. Let's go. Alright, that's something really cool with the Pulte. Oh my god, that scared the crap out of me. Let's go. Oh, look at those spikes. Just look at them. Okay. Okay. I've had my fun. We could leave it. Yeah, Pultes whenever they do that are so awesome. Pultes whenever they do that are so awesome. Okay. I had to. As you see, it was a poltergeist. We got to see the ability. Super awesome, by the way. We did not get hunted at all in either of those games, so make sure to click or tap the screen now to learn how to survive hunts if that is still a struggle for you. Thank you to all the channel members for the extra support. It truly does mean a lot. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Happy hunting, and I'll see you in the hunt video.